Good morning, everybody. It is a fabulous, it's a little cloudy out here in beautiful Bozeman, but it is not snowing, which is a bonus. It snowed a little bit yesterday, and I'm hoping we are done with any sort of accumulation of anything on the valley floor from here on out. A few years ago, I was talking to my mentor. And he was asking, he was like, how's everything going? And this, that, and the other. And I just, I'm a very emotional human being. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and you know exactly what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, just by simply looking at me. I do not have any sort of poker face, if you will. I'm fully transparent. And I was like, honestly, like I am overwhelmed. I'm feeling anxious. I have anxiety. And instead of just like, oh, Jeff, tell me more about that, it was, oh, you're just unprepared. I was like, oh, excuse me? Unprepared? What? How in the hell do you know that I'm unprepared for what I'm trying to do? He goes, you just don't have a plan that you believe in. And I was like, after like that initial shock of one being like, totally offended, like, hey, you're my mentor, you're not supposed to like kick me down when I'm already down. And oh, by the record, this is Todd Conklin, by the way. I'm pretty sure we all knew that. He says, Jeff, you're just unprepared, you just don't have a plan that you truly believe in. And so again, after that initial shock wore off, I was like, God dang, is he right? And I pull myself back, like we always talk about going 30,000 feet above instead of being in the weeds. And I started looking at it. I'm like, oh, sure enough, like, yeah, he's right. So let's tweak this, let's tweak that. And then I just had this over sense of just calm that fell about me. Now, granted, I had to go and execute the plan and do all that fun stuff. But the first step is creating that plan. So here we are, second to last Monday of Q1. Like we get an extra one next week, right? On the 28th. I believe it's the 28th. I think today's 21st. I've lost all track of days. Thank you, Teresa. And we're heading into it. And I've had great conversations with great agents, both in our organization and outside, in our markets and outside of our current marketplaces. And you know what a lot of them said? Hey, Jeff, inventory's tough, but I'm still rocking and rolling. I go, okay, great. That's awesome. What's your plan? Oh, it's business as usual. Okay. So has anything changed in the last 90, 120, 180 days in real estate? Well, yeah, inventory is getting less and less and less. And that doesn't worry you. They're like, well, why should it? Everybody's dealing with it. I'm like, well, that's fine. But if you can honestly say, hey, listen, this is where I was last year from, let's just call it a unit based, right? Are you able to sustain a drop off potentially in, I don't know, 25, 30, 40% of your business? Well, why would I go down? Well, you're not going down. The entire market is coming down, not from a value standpoint, but rather because we just have less things to sell. KCM just a few weeks ago came out and said, hey, homeowners are staying in their houses longer than ever before. Anyone who coaches with me knows the answer to this, but I will hypothetically ask you, what is that answer? How long is it? It's 13 and a half years. Well, what in the world happened 13 and a half years ago? Well, the world shut down from a financial standpoint, at least the United States, right? We had the Great Recession. And that was all based on, well, I shouldn't say all based, a major component of that was housing, was the real estate market. This is not anything like that. But the thing is, those folks still have PTSD. Those people still are a little scared of what in the world happened. Now they're coming out of a pandemic as the world continues to open up. So the question to you is, guys, what is your plan for quarter two? Is it to hold on for dear life? Because if you sustain, if you just flatline for this year, meaning you don't have any growth, well, you're probably outperforming the market. However, that might not be enough for what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So just this past weekend, Kelsey, she sold a house 8 months ago in a great neighborhood. And she got an email from a neighbor that said, hey, you sold my neighbor's house at 123 Banana Street last June. Will you give me the value of my home? I'm like, oh, I said, hon, did you do any sort of follow-up with that? She goes, well, just the just sold postcard. And it wasn't part of her Geo Farm deal. And I got to thinking, I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing? Like, we are missing an opportunity. So one of the things that I'm thinking we should be doing, guys, if we're looking for more listings, Go back to all of your listings that you sold last year, heck, even 2 years ago, and reconnect yourself with those people in that neighborhood. If you need help from a geofarming putting that list together, well, you have an amazing marketing team that can help with just that. Go to them, ask them, say, hey, listen, I need this area, I need that area, and I need this area. Boom, there's the tactic number one. Tactic number two, right? Well, Jeff, I'm new into the business. I don't have a massive SOI. I don't have a great past client sphere of influence, blah, 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 blah. Well, best way to increase that or grow that is by doing open houses. Well, it's a little tricky right now because we don't have a lot of listings, or the sellers are saying, hey, listen, this thing's under contract, I'm good. Well, guys, you got to put yourself out there. You have to create events. You have to create an opportunity where people are coming to see you or finding you. Social ad engine, an amazing tool for you to get your name out there from a branding standpoint, a marketing standpoint, a lead gen standpoint. They have all of these campaigns that are already completely baked into the deal. Okay. So listing agents, you have an opportunity to reconnect with neighborhoods, not even necessarily clients. Newer agents, you have an opportunity to reconnect with everybody in the world from a social ad engine. Also, newsflash, this goes for everybody. We all have feeder markets. Name the top 3 to top 5 of them, find your favorite offices in those areas, and you go out and connect with those people, because those are the people that are sending their buyers to you. All right, let's go out and get ahead of that. Newsflash, in case you were wondering, over 11% of all transactions last year had a referral attached to them. Oh, in this company. There's money to be made there. All right. We have to go out and make those connections. And then lastly, your past buyers. Jeff, I've never had a listing in my life. Well, do you want to change that? Heck yeah. All right. Well, hey, listen, we keep hammering this thing home. Unsolicited CMA. Jeff, I don't like just sending somebody. Okay, fine. Just do a damn CMA, send it to them and say, hey, listen, I'm sure you're aware that the value of your home has not only gone up in the last 24 months, it's actually gone up in the last 24 minutes. Here's an updated value of your home. So listing agents, go back to the neighborhoods, okay? The neighborhoods where you once were. Remember, even in a marketing package, you're going to get the just sold postcard, and that's it, unless you had a plan and a process in place. Newer agents, leverage social ad engine. This is a tool brought to you by Coldwell Banker, Coldwell Banker exclusively. Then lastly, unsolicited CMAs, and then also throwing events in the feeder markets, doing all of those different things, reconnecting. So hopefully those 4 topics, one of them clicks with you and you will do something different, add that into your plan for Q2. So you're not sitting there going, hey, market's down unit-wise, X%, I'm above just that. So hopefully that is helpful for you guys.